according to what I heard. I'm not sure. I don't know his age.
Just a small boy.
Yeah, that's what I heard. I don't know his age, but few months ago I heard he celebrated his 30 years birthday. So now the question here to start with is, what is the crime of Speed Darlington, aka Ekpa? The crime of Speed Darlington is he used his constitutional given right, which is free of speech. We are going based into the legal side of the whole thing. Let us first of all look into the legal side of it. After looking into the legal side of it, then we'll begin to analyze it critically and, of course, in human perspective. But let us first of all look at the legal part of it. The crime of Speed Darlington is simply because he used his constitutional right to speak, irrespective of whose name is being mentioned. It is his constitutional right, his inalienable right to speak, to use his mouth to talk, no matter whose name is mentioned. The Constitution gave every human being, not just here in the zoo, all over the world, the Constitution of the world, United Nations, African Charter, Nigeria Constitution, anywhere in the world. It is our God-given right to speak, which is called freedom of speech legally. So that is the crime of Speed Darlington to start with. So because we need to know these things, when we talk about law, let us know what the law says. The law says that we all have the right of freedom of speech. And the law, especially in the zoo, it did not say, when the law say we have the freedom to speak, it did not limit the extent or the level of our speech. The law did not say you have freedom to speak, but you must not say this or you must not say that. When you have the freedom to speak, you must not mention somebody's name when you are speaking. The law did not say anything like that. The law says we are free to speak up. So, this woman here is a mother, like you. Please, I want you to pick it up from there before we begin to bring some other things up.
You can only keep the picture of that woman, because
sure.
Wow. Ikuku nna mgbe m batara banye na ihe m agbata obi gaa through ife tweet ihe o tweetere today ka njekwule this program hallelujah aka alele call for me wee tie mkpu wee sị ọ gịnị na-eme mgbe ọ na-asị na ya ụmụama Prince Darlington ntie wee gewezi ihe ọ na-ekwu. This program Prince Darlington mere eji were kidnap onye. Onwere onye a watching that program. Onwere onye a watching that program. It's like ihe ọgbọ na ọgbọ na-eme. Ọ ife mfọrọ ya ọwụ. Afụrụ m ya nọ something nwere ike mmadụ dịka Burna Boy eji were kidnap Prince Darlington. No. I didn't get that aggressive today because someone if and for a mother like this, with her age, kneel down for a small boy omolamo. When I do Burna Boy, more for a picture of this woman, rain down, need a weep banana. Now, yoya. Ko release ele otu mkpụrụ anya o ji afụ ụzọ when I see Burna Boy ya cheke na ọnwụ na ọmụmụ ya mana nwere ife nna-achọ ime ka ụnụ malụ na ihe ọwụna na-eme na be anyị aka Chukwu dị ya na ihe ọwụna anyị na-eme o nwere njisi na aka Chukwu dị ya Burna Boy egosigo identity ihe na Biafra land o gosigo identity ihe na Biafra land for him we just kidnap this boy called Prince Darlington.
Speed Darlington. The other one you mentioned is prohibited.
In fact, so instead amazikwen m ebe nọ ịmara ndị ụtụ a mkpa anaba amụ iwe abịa ma adị m like iwe maka program a over so much emotion ọkwa ịghọtago so ana m ajụ Burna Boy ebe ọ nọ na ọfụ this woman kneeling down na-ayọ ya si ya biko gụmeele ya ebele hapụrụ ya otu mkpụrụ anya o ji afọ ụzọ wee na-ajụ Burna Boy ya megodu na ọnwụ ya mee imagine na ọnwụ na ọmụmụ ya oya like ka nne mụrụ ya n'afọ gbulu nwa nne ya mụrụ amụ ikpere na ya biko the program a na-ekwu watching that program otebeghị aka o mere program ahụ otebeghị aka o mere this program a na-ekwu and onwekwana ihe mfuru rijuru afọ na that program eji wee je kidnap mana let me tell you people something ihe na-eme na be anyị ọka mma ndị anyị si na ọ na-adị mma ikuku ya ka ya amara nka m esikwu ihe because na-alapụtafa na-alapụta these people wee megide wee ruo to this extent ndị be anyị wee fụ who is Burna Boy and okedekwana ụdị mmadụ ọhụụ ebe Burna Boy nwere ụmụ boys na-eme kidnap because ọ kidnap ka ekidnapụrụ ife a ọmụnwa nwaada ndị mbụ na ndị egede na-asị na nke awụrọ mbụ ọ na-ekidnap ka ahụ ebe ọ na-ekidnap mfat ọhọ bụ ihe ka ọhụ because from reason why eji wee je kidnap or this akpe nwa amama na just ebe o mere mbọsị a just ibe o mere mbọsị a o egwu ọgbọ na ọgbọ na-agba okwu ọgbọ na ọgbọ na-agwa ọgbụ ya is terrible mana ana m achọ ime ka Burna Boy malụ that na ikpele adịsị ụmụanụ gburu wee yọọ ya biko Burna Boy let me tell you something ego ụkwara ọbịbịa ka ọ bịa and ego na-eje guzie ego onye ọbịa ka ọ mana ego na-anọgide nọ n'ọkpụtọghị ọkpụwa ego ịkpatara n'ụzọ gaziri agazi mana ego ọnwụ na ịkpata n'ụzọ ọjọọ otu ahụ o si bịa oyi esi na jee jụọ ese ndị ọzọ jee jụọ ka ha si wee bido ebe ka ha nọ today mana eme n'ife ife ya amụrụ nka m esi wee in fact ka nyego biko ikuku na ka vam kene okwu obi adịm mma ọsọ ọ na-atọghepụ m ihe ya emebi aka m na-eji onwe m.
Okay. Honorable Vam, there is something that I don't want to talk about. I will just ask you that question, but it left for you to decide whether you want to talk about it or not. We all know that Burna Boy is our own person. He's a full-blooded Biafran, and he understands properly well that the zoo called Nigeria can never work. He has already said it before. He said that Nigeria is not even supposed to exist. We have the video. So, we're not going to put that from background.
I don't check them for your side. Or from my side.
Okay,
Okay, now.
Okay. Go ahead, Ikuku.
Yeah, so now this question is, first of all, before we move into the other segment, which is the 48 hours ultimatum from the PM. what made Burna Boy, like, remember I said you can choose whether to answer this question or not, because as for me, I don't want to go into that very side. I don't want to delve into that matter there. But my question is, being Speed Darlington, being who he is, we all know how he speaks. This is somebody that doesn't mince word. He speaks, he speaks like he's cracking joke, right?
Exactly.
At the same
Exactly.
time, he's saying the truth. You
Yes.
understand? I sometimes I see him as a comedian. I don't even see him as a musician. I see him as a comedian. So now, my question, which you may choose to answer or not, is that based on what Speed Darlington said about Burna Boy, and for him to quickly kidnap him just like that with so much anger, does he mean that there is atom of truth on what the guy said? Although I don't want to talk that side, though. You choose whether to answer that question or we move.
Yeah, thank you very much, Ikuku. I want to say that this is a very wrong. In fact, Burna Boy has just fired very, very wrong. He fired very, very wrong because he has been doing well on his own. And as a Biafran, the grace of Biafra is upon him. You know, among all the artists in the developing republic, you know, Chuko Kabiama singled him out to show him favor, whichever way. I don't know how Chuko chose to bless him that way. Even those that people think, are getting all the hype for the level that Burna Boy have gotten to. Even Davido, Whiskey, and the rest of them, none of them have gotten there. You know, he's a powerhouse as far as Afro beats and even together with hip hop is concerned in that zoo. But come to think of somebody like Ekpa or Speed Darlington that everybody knows, who is a fun, who is a jovial joke comedian, serious and not serious sometimes, that he said something and you are taking it hook, line, and sinker to begin to act on it, because right now it is no longer allegedly. It's no longer allegedly because from the office of this lawyer to very dark man, what's the Deji Adeyanju? Deji Adeyanju have confirmed that the order to pick up Speed Darlington actually came from Burna Boy. It has been confirmed, so it is no longer allegedly. Now, the accusation or the speculation that Darlington speculated about the relationship between Burna Boy and PDD, which is the recent happening, is something that everybody, I believe, must have taken with a pinch of salt. Everybody, including myself. Yes, even though I know that a lot of things can happen in that music industry. But personally, I took that with a pinch of salt because it is none of my business. I don't care. Whether it is true or it's not true, it is something that is normal with the music industry and the entertainment industry. Gayism and lesbianism and all those things. So, okay, if Burna Boy is actually trying to portray himself as an innocent person or somebody that doesn't play along that line or that doesn't indulge with such a lifestyle, the best way is to ignore and pretend as if he doesn't even know that anybody like Speed Darlington exists.
Yeah.
And pretend as if Speed Darlington never even, in fact, if it is true that Speed Darlington sings and is a musician, but you cannot compare Speed Darlington and Burna Boy. As when you're talking about the juggernauts, of the music world in Africa. Burna Boy and Speed Darlington are not at the same path. You understand? They're not at the same cadre. So for Burna Boy to take that very seriously, honestly speaking.
Yeah.
So it makes me begin to think, is Burna Boy trying to validate the accusation of Speed Darlington? Because for you to take it personally, it means that maybe Speed Darlington may have touched him where actually it affected him. But if he is not involved in it, it is something that he would have just ignored and forgot about it. Because just like our prime minister said, a lot of people have insulted our prime minister. What have they not called him? They have called him different names. But there's one thing our PM maintains, which every human being that have critical ability of thinking, or I would say, let me not use revolutionary now, because Burna Boy, I won't count him among the revolutionary, because if you are revolutionary, anything anybody calls you wouldn't matter to you. But what you become eventually, it is your result that will be answering for you. But for you to act like this, man, my guy, it means that you are making us say that, man, maybe what was actually saying, there are elements of truth in it. You understand what I mean? So that's exactly how I would respond.
Okay, that's good. Just like as I said, I don't actually want to talk about that side. But ka anyị jikwa ofu anya na-enyokwa Burna Boy, ka anyị ji ofu anya na-enyo Burna Boy, just exactly what you said, the way he has quickly reacted towards this very, issue, has actually raised an eyebrow. So I don't know, but let's leave that one for another day. So based on what the Prime Minister, let us now go into the Prime Minister's, comment and of course ultimatum. According to the PM today, he said, so Burna Boy is now a government of his own, that he can kidnap a Biafran with his team. Whoever knows Burna Boy should tell him that after 48 hours and Speed Darlington is not freed, we will humble him. We will humble him. Make sure this message goes to him and his kidnapping gang. 48 hours starts from now. This impunity will end with Biafra. Now, there are other, comments of the Prime Minister which we are going to bring moving forward, but let us first of all dissect this one. So I want to pick some words from here, and then first question will go to Adade Olamma, which the PM said, so Burna Boy is now a government of his own that can kidnap a Biafran with his team. So now, this current issue that took place, Burna Boy, according to what Speed Darlington's mother said, that Burna Boy came with his team. We did not hear Burna Boy came with police and arrested Speed Darlington, aka Abe. We never heard that Burna Boy came with DSS to arrest Speed Darlington. Even though it is not constitutional to arrest any civilian with military, with an army officer, it is unconstitutional. But even with that, still, we did not hear that Burna Boy came with army officers and arrested Speed Darlington. But what we heard that he came with his team. Now, Adade Olamma Buko, because we are talking about a Biafran here, or two Biafrans, Burna Boy and Speed Darlington, two Biafrans here, and one has actually committed a crime of kidnap. Because what message do you have for Burna Boy for doing this, for this kidnapping, incident that took place today?
Ikuku na-adị ka m si wee gwa gị n'anya efu na ahụ juru m oyi. Ahụ juru m oyi too much. O nwere ihe kpatara ahụ ji wee jụọ m oyi. Ihe kpatara ahụ ji wee jụọ m oyi wụdatị na nwa mmadụ akpị nwa amama ka nọ n'aka ndị ilo. Maka mmasị nọ ndị ilo ka ahụ, because na mgbe ọ na nwa Biafra nwa ajani kidnapụrụ nwanne ya, ọ wụrụgo onye ilo m ụlọ onye ilo gị, because ụhụ m nwa ka o ji afụ ha. And Burna Boy egosigo ya ọkpa egwu ya, ifụ ihe ọ na-eme. Ka m gwakwa ụnụ ihe a na-akwa eme na nkịtị, ihe anaghị eme na nkịtị. na Chineke na-eji ihe wee gosi ihe. Mana dị onye okwu m nwere ike ịgwa Burna Boy that na Burna Boy, o nwere ife eji ama dike. O nwere ife eji ama dike. Ife eji ama dike n'obodo, nwoke ihe na-eme n'obodo, dike bata ihe bee. Dike na-edozi edozi na dike adịghị eme mmesasị. Ọnwụ na nwanne gị nwoke gwara gị ife adịghị mma, like ịma ka o si kwu ya okwu, ịnọkwara social media and nwekwa your fans, ị bịa reply in that way onye o si gwa gị ya. Mana ebe megidere ọwụzie na kidnap uze ya bulu, thank God, because n'ife eji ekwu ya na-ekwukịta that na identity ndị kidnap lụ akpị nwa agbama pụtara. Ọnwụ na Burna Boy ma n'otu a ka o ya esi wee dị, o ya na-eme onwe onye ya amanụ. Mana Burna Boy kwesịrị ịma that na o nwere ife karịrị mmadụ. Otu oge ọnwụ na ka anyị na-agwa na mmụọ nwaanyị ebighị ọrụ. O nwere ife mmadụ ya emegide n'ụwa a, sọsọ ife a na-ezo ezo bụ ife ọjọọ. Ife ọma dị ezo ya ezo maka ife ọjọọ wonde ọma pụta. Nọọ Chineke lapụtara Burna Boy chi gosi enwe ụmụ ndị gboo dekwa onye a ekwe ụdị mmadụ. Achọrọ m ikwu okwu, mmụọ m ekpọrọ m ka m kwuo okwu na ya, don't know why. Mana ife nna ya Burna Boy, nna ezi nwanne m, onye bụ nwanne gburu nwanne ya wụrụ odogwu, asọkwa na igbu na akpị nwa mama, asọ m na igbu gị. Mana ife nna ya ọgụ biko hapụ ya ka o jere. Ịmarago na ọ pụta gị ife, rapụ ya. Our Prime Minister Bata Obie nyere 48 hours. 48 hours dị too much iji gwakwa gị eziokwu. Mana n'anya ka m gwa gị, onwekwa onye ndị ya dị n'elu, ndụ onye ọbụla dị n'ala. Iwu nwaanyị anyị ama onye ewu, ama nne gị, ama nna gị, ama ikwu gị, ama ibe gị. The only thing na-achọ ime ka ị mara na hence na ewu nwaanyị anyị ịgbata ya n'ọsọ. And let me tell you something, if you just mkpụrụ group mmadụ na-abụ mmadụ ịtọkwa egbe, that's all. Ndị nwekwara ike ịba aka gị ọwụ Nigerian government. Let me tell you something. Ọnwụ nọ because of ihe akpị nwa amama na-ekwu maka njem nwere onwe anyị ka Nigerian gọọmenti ji wee si n'aka gị, because ha na-esi n'aka ụmụ nwanne egbu nwanne ha, wee chi isi n'aka gị wee memi na nwa amadi ya ịdara ya. Mana ka ngwa gị ije ihe ejetie, because ọ na nwatakịrị akwụchi ife ọ na-ekwu mfụkwa ya n'ụlọ ebe ọ na-asị ya ọpụ na ihe niile ọ na-ekwu kwucha ọ na-ejegharị. So Burna Boy, ịma datara na iwere mmadụ ndị onye Igbo ka ewe nwere ụmụ Igbo, na-ekwe na ka Nigerian gọọmenti yuzu oge asị ọkwa ha na-eyuzu gị. Na ọkwa m ihe a akpị nwa amama kwuru ka iji je kpọrọ ya uti ndị ya organic, believe me, maybe na akwụgo gị ụgwọ ngụnwa masị. Na the only thing na-agwa gị biko release this boy, release nwatakịrị aka ọ na-akwụ. Ọnwụ na-enugodo akwa president asị ma ọgwụ na-enu akwa akpị nwa amama, ọnwụ na-enu akwa akpị nwa amama na akwa nne, ọnwụ na-enu akwa nne na akwa ndị fans ya, ọnwụ na-enu akwa fans ya n'okwu akwa ụmụnne ikwu na ibie, n'okwu akwa mụnwa nwa ada ndị mbụ na ndị egede. Biko release nwatakịrị ha, hapụ ya ka ọ na sọnsọ ife nna ya oge. Achọrọ m ikwu okwu for now, achọrọ m ịda aggressive, achọrọ m ịdị nnọọ cool, because life nwatakịrị ka na-ekwu okwu ya. Biko ana m ayọ gị, hapụ nwatakịrị ahụ ka ọ pụta. Sọnsọ ife m ekwudo for now. Ikuku na.
All right.
Iji nwayọ, biko.
Thank you.
No.
Honorable Pastor Van Van Van, look at this place, which is the main thing that has brought us here this evening. Our Prime Minister said, whoever that knows Burna Boy should tell him that after 48 hours and Speed Darlington is not freed, we will humble him. We will humble him. I don't want to ask you a question. Just Just carry on. I don't want to ask you any questions. Just carry on.
Now, Burna Boy, I want you to know that the only people that have your interests at heart are the people talking to you right now. The only man that would stand for you, this same zoo that you are using now to oppress your own brother, the only person that will save you from their wicked machinations is the Prime Minister of the Biafra Republic government. So look around and think. Nigeria has no government. Nigeria is finished. Nigeria is wrecked. No system, no foundation, nothing. So if you are using a system that has no foundation to fight your brother, and that system you know already has become a banana republic. A banana republic. Look at what is happening in your neighborhood right now as we speak in Rivers State. See what is happening. Is that government? So is this a country you will affiliate yourself with? And so you don't use that country as your backup, or use them as your powerhouse or whatever. Because what you are using them to do to your brother, when they turn around to do it to you, the people that will save you are the people advising you now on what to do. The Prime Minister of the Biafra Republic government in exile have told you from the spirit of love that look, you must, within the next 48 hours, that same button you press and Darlington was taken, go back there and press it. Let him get back to his business. Let him get back home. Because if you don't do it, you will not be happy. What the repercussion will be to you. You might say you are Odogu. Go and find out the meaning of Odogu and find out what we understand by Odogu. Like Adade Orama have already said here, that only one layer broke Odogu. Only one layer for job broke Odogu. So the only thing that makes you Odogu is that you are doing well, excelling as a Biafran that you are. But this you have done now will not join among the accolades that will be added to the Odogu you are being called. And so don't allow the people that celebrate you to turn around and get angry with you, because no man is an island. And the man that has spoken is the Prime Minister of the Biafra Republic government. His word is the final say in Biafra land. Yes, honestly speaking. And for the interest of the people, for your own interest, he speaks. Because if such a thing is happening to you right now, the same way we are backing Darlington up is the same way we will back you up. The same way he is speaking for Darlington is the same way he will speak for you. So that is why you must understand that he has your interests at heart, and he has the interests of Darlington at heart. We as Biafrans, we should first and foremost be thinking about how we will be able to overcome these enemies that surround us. Onye ndị iro gbara okirikiri, ndụ ya ka ọ ga na-eche mgbe niile. Ọ gaghị na-achọ ebe o esi mmerụ onwe ya ahụ, or inflict more damages on his own life. Because when what you are inflicting is damages upon your own life, because what happens to your brother is happening to you. No matter how you see it, you must think very twice. Yes. So please, I don't want to use hard words, just like my sister have adopted tonight, and we have adopted the same spirit to speak to you as a brother tonight. We don't want to be violent, because as you can see, the zoo that was thinking they had monopoly of violence. Ask them what they are receiving. Like today now, they are using bags to carry their bodies out of Biafra land. Today, go and ask them the scores. So when we speak what we mean. We mean what we say. And we don't do it to our own people. So let us be secured on our own and allow them to feel the pain of Nigeria. The pain that has been inflicted on the zoo today, the zoo should be the ones feeling it. Then Biafra, we have been able to contain all their pressure, all their lies, all their evil. So let us not inflict pain on ourselves. So go ahead right now. Don't forget about that pride. I'm telling you, do the needful. Let Prince Darlington go back home. Thank you very much, Ikuku.
All right, thank you. Let us also see another thing that the Prime Minister said concerning this very development. The intimidation Biafrans go through under Nigeria will come to an end soon.
Yes.
People like Burna Boy will be under Nigeria and enjoying the impunity of the system, kidnapping and molesting innocent people for speaking out.
Exactly. Exactly.
If you so much love Nigeria, why will you go and kidnap him with your men? The terrorist state will terrorize Biafrans, and you, Burna Boy, will also terrorize a Biafran. After the 48 hours and this boy is not released, you will become an enemy.
Exactly.
If you are kidnapped today by anyone, we will do the same. Now, this very last word, before even looking at other things he said, the PM said, if you are kidnapped today by anyone, we will do the same. He's talking to Burna Boy directly. And this is not a joke. This is not a joke. Because couple of weeks ago, we all saw what happened to our sister Amaka in Canada. We saw how the Biafra government, came out, back her up, and fought for her, even continue to fight for her, both legally, media-wise, and otherwise. So, meaning that for the Prime Minister to give Burna Boy 48 hours ultimatum does not mean that the Biafra government hates Burna Boy. No.
At all.
There is nothing like that.
At all.
Because he has cleared the air here that if you are being kidnapped today by anyone, we will do the same for you. We will also fight for you as a Biafran. Right? So
Yes.
now, my question is, this question, I will bring it back to you, Vam. This kind of impunity which is happening within the Zoological Republic here, have you now seen the reason the zoo has no any other option if not to go down?
Yes.
Because they talk about human rights. There is no human right. They talk about freedom of speech. There is no freedom of speech. They talk about freedom of association. There is no freedom of association. People will gather to protest, they will shoot at them. So, are you not amazed that somebody like Burna Boy, who should be very well civilized and mentally, emancipated, could, put himself or descend so low in kidnapping a fellow citizen just because he speak up?
That is what the zoo does to anyone that considers himself a part of that zoo. Because this man has forgotten that not quite long we have been, his video was going viral when he actually talked about Nigeria. And the Burna Boy, most of the times, doesn't stay in Nigeria. He stays outside the country. And he knows how how law and order is maintained in those countries where he is getting all the awards he's having, and that makes him the Burna Boy that he is. If that is the way it happens in Europe and America, where he is known to be Burna Boy, that powerhouse of Afrobeats, would he be the Burna Boy that he is today if this impunity is prevalent in those places? Look at just because you have money in the zoo, anybody talks and you just you can buy the police, you can buy anything. So is that what you want to associate yourself with and be proud of? Is there no court of law? If you don't like what the young man, even if it's your father, your sister, your brother, said something you don't like, or have abused you, have said things that you feel is an insult to your own person, there's a place you resolve it. You go to the court, you sue the person to court, you serve him a paper, the person goes and proves his innocence there, or whether he is guilty, then the law will have its case. But even in this case, you know that even in that zoo, there is no justice even in the legal system. So nothing actually works there. That is why if you are someone that is enlightened, as I suppose Burna Boy is, his name shouldn't be around any story like this, honestly. Because no matter which way it goes, you're involving yourself with the zoo, you're just going to rub yourself in the mud, and you are going to, your integrity will be put into question. Your life will be, we have comma in your life. So that's why this shouldn't be a part of that. As quickly as you can, just like Adadio Rama said, 48 hours is even too much. By this time tomorrow, we should already hear that Prince Speed Darlington is out of the holding of those, people that can be bought. In which country do you buy police? Which country? Any country that function very well, that maintain law and order, that you will come and pay police to do. It's only in banana republics that things like that happen.
Exactly.
Even the people that gave you Nigeria, it doesn't happen in their place where you can pay police to do anything you want them to do for you. It doesn't happen that way. So, Burna Boy, so then let us overflow this issue.
Okay.
So that tomorrow we'll be happy with you.
Okay, the last but not the least, the last, from the Prime Minister, and then this one I will allow Adade Olamma to make comment on it before we delve into the other topic, because there is something big, something very, very huge happened between yesterday and today. So actually, before the issue of this Burna Boy came up, I wanted to talk about it this evening. So, but because of the, the importance and urgency of this very, Burna Boy matter and Speed Darlington, I say, okay, let us begin with this. So, the last but not the least, for this very current matter, the PM said, the people that abused me for the past 3 years, none of them have been kidnapped or physically harassed, which is the truth. The Biafra we are fighting for is a Biafra where people will have freedom of speech, and I am leading it already by example. Remember, Adade Olamma, the PM said, the people that abused him for the past 3 years. And let me be frank. I am not going to say this because the Prime Minister is here with us. I'm not going to say this because I want to praise the Prime Minister. I'm not going to say this because I want to put Mazi Nnamdi Kanu under. I'm not going to say this because I want to, neglect the effort of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. No. I have an evidence to what I want to say. Now, I'm not talking about suffering. If I want to talk about suffering, somebody who have suffered most for Biafra or for Biafrans, no doubt it is Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, no question. He has gone to prison twice because of Biafra. Now, but in terms of abuse, which is the word being used here by the Prime Minister, and which is what the Burna Boy himself might think or believe, that he has been abused by, Abe. So let us talk about abuse. I have not seen anybody in my whole life, and I said in my whole life,
Very correct.
I'm not talking about this year. I'm not talking about last year. I'm not talking about 3 years ago. I said, in my whole life, I have never seen. Of course, I heard about the abuse of Jesus Christ. So I'm not talking about that one because I did not see it. But I've not seen anybody in my life being abused more than the abuse that the Prime Minister of BLGIE, Mazi Simon Ekpa, has received. I will tell you why. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, it's not about comparison. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was abused by political elites and some other tribes in the zoo that do not believe in Biafra. But Mazi Simon Ekpa has been abused by the same set of people that have abused Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, and they abused by his own people. Are you getting me now? By his own people, that they were all chasing the same cow together. And these people turned around and started chasing him, and now claiming that his own leg now resembles the leg of that cow that they are chasing. You see? So, yet, according to him here, he said, the people that abused him for the past 3 years, none of them have been kidnapped or physically harassed. Adade Olamma, please, your final word to Burna Boy over this matter, comparing with what the Prime Minister of BLGIE has passed through and is still passing through today, including names that has been called. He has been called both Nigerian agent, all manner of names. Someone called for there's new name on phone ran up now. I saw the idiot saw Buffon. He doesn't even know how to pronounce it. He said he called it Buffon. So please, can you say something briefly over this before we move into the next segment?
Okay. Egwu nchara ego aka arụsa ngene kulu ngene ṅụọ n'ọkwa ka arụsa mba na asụọ mba na nni ọkwa ịghọtago. O nwere the point ọbata obi ewepụtara ebe a na ya afụbeghị ha ekidinapụ ọhalasị afa ụnụ ọfụ ha n'ebe kidinapụ n'onwe I don't know possible na ụnụ abụghị onye ji na-ahalasị onwe mba nụnụ. Onye ndị wụzi kidnapping, onye ndị na-emezi kidnap, onye ndị ọnwụ ha nwa, onye ndị na ya ekpe halas ha nwa. So ọ dịghị possible na ha ya ekidnap onwe fa now. Ọ dịghị possible now. The only thing m gwara these people that na kwefụ na ihe niile na ndụ a ka ọ na-eme ogologo ndụ ka nyere fa ya na ala isi ike. Mba ewepụrụ m ala isi ike, mba adị enyo ndị ụchụ ala isi ike, mana ha ya adị ndụ fụ ka o ya esi wee end here. Afọ nwụ na a na-akpọ abata obi ọnwụ ngozi ka ha na-enye elu ka ha na-ebunye all the time. Ọnwụ na ha mara dat na afọ ọnwụ na ha kpọrọ ya ihe ọnwụ na fa kpọrọ ya ihe ọnwụ na fa emenie n'elu ka ha na-ebunye ebe ya na-emezi, and ọnwụ na fa ma ife ka akwụsị because iwọchi arụkịta ha dakpuo ọbata obi enye chọọ nke mkparị ha nyere since how many years ago wepụtakwa ya ka ha wee nwee ike ikwu okwu gosi dat na ọ na-amịta mkpụrụ n'ime ndụ ya. Ọdịda Maazị Nnamdi Kanu kwuru esi ọnwụ na ị na-eme ife anaghị akparị gị, anaghị akpa gị kidnap, a na-akpọ gị onye oshi ma na ị naghị eme taa na ihe ejima na ife ị na-eme na-aga wụ dat na a na-enye gị those names. Ama na m ọ na-ekwuita n'ife ijuru m. So
yes,
nna be anyị
Chalo. Okay, round up. On another breaking news pụtalụ now. Round up.
The only thing m nwere ike ịgwa gị na this thing na anyị kwuru iju ajụjụ anyị jụrụ na afụbebe ebe kidnapụrụ ọhalasị ya wee na-asị gị dat na ndị kidnap adịghị kidnap onwe, and onye na-ekpe halasị adịghị halasị onwe shows you that na Any name and I buy it today, one name here. All the kidnaps on one name here, and all the harass one name here.
All right, thank you. Now there is a breaking news. Breaking news as we are speaking. Breaking news. Breaking news. Can somebody guess what is going on? Breaking news. Breaking news.
I don't want my mama. Ha! Yeah, well, okay.
This is now from the official and, of course, verified X handle of the PM, His Excellency Ekpa Simon Njokon. He gave 48 hours. Let me say it the way it suits me. Anybody who does not believe what I'm saying, if there is any transformer close to you, go and hug it. If you see any tipper carrying a lot of sand, go and stand at his front. I will say it the way it suits me. Now, barely 12 hours after the ultimatum was given, pre-record broadcast now, people are like barely 12 hours after the 48 hours ultimatum was given by the Prime Minister of Biafra. This is the breaking news. And according to the PM, he said, if you have released him within the 48 hours, we move. We are all brothers, but stop using Nigeria terrorist police or army against fellow Biafran. We will not condone it going forward. We will not condone it going forward. And remember that Prime Minister has already said that the Biafra we are looking for is where freedom of speech will reign and freedom of association will reign. Not when somebody talks, you get angry because you have money, because you have fame. So somebody speaks.
AK-47.
Because of somebody speaks, you arrest that person because you are bigger than him. You have money, you are richer than him, you have fame. We cannot tolerate such nonsense in Biafra. Now, according to Sahara reporters, this very evening, breaking, the 10th Nigerian singer Speed Darlington released on bail after Burna Boy's petition alleging cyberbullying. Sahara reporters, you see?
I
thought go cyberbullying.
Just on the police may arrest now because
Imagine.
they arrest.
Imagine now. So, Vam, I don't know if you have anything to say before we move into the next segment. Very important segment.
Yes, I just want to say a big thank you to Burna Boy. And it shows that he's listening and he knows, that, he cannot make Biafrans his enemy. Because the moment the Prime Minister said, if he doesn't do that, then he should consider himself our enemy. And I'm very sure he understands that you cannot be enemy to your over 80 million of your own people now being angry with you. And because there's no doubt, even him, Burna Boy, he knows very well that the real new sheriff in town is the Prime Minister, which already even the zoo have affirmed it, the Senate President have affirmed it, and the real governor of the Southeast is Simon Ekpa. And you understand that very well, and he did the needful. Yeah, I know there are many other voices that spoke, but the 48 hours ultimatum the Prime Minister gave to him, he had made sure it falls within the time frame. And then going forward, I believe such will not happen again. And I want to say a very big thank you to our Prime Minister. This will show you, Biafrans, that you have a leader indeed. You have somebody in the Prime Minister, the one who will stick his head out and stand for you, the one who will fight for you to the very last, the one who will break every door to get you out and to do the needful. And we want to appreciate our Prime Minister. We say, kudos our Prime Minister. Birikpo, our Prime Minister. Birikpo, Masam and Ekpa. Birikpo.
Airborne.
Thank you very much. Airborne.
Airborne. All right. Yeah. Of course. Grab the microphone. Oluga Potago.
Nna anyị makwa nnọọ akwa nwaanyị ibe m bele ebe ọ sị n'otu anya eji afụ ụzọ o ya ewu ikelu na olesi na ọnwụ nne ka ịwụnụ Burna Boy nna aba anyị mụ na ga enweghị nsogbu mba nwanne m nwoke ka ịwụ ibe awụ ya akọsidi anya na ọgụ nwanne na nwanne nọ ọ ife mfụrụ ya ọwụ and egbokwana n'ụlọ ọgụ ahụ unu ha ọgụ no nna aba anyị asị gị ndo mana ife ọzọ na-agwa gị ụdatị na ihe apụta public yọọ mama akpị nwa mama mgbaghala maka ikpele a nne gị gburu gị na efere mba ụwa niile maka nwa ya nna sọnsọ ife nchọ ka ime ihe apụta yọọ ya mgbaghala ife agadi nwaanyị dị otu ahụ gburu gị ikpele ọ alụ ka ọnwụ n'ala Igbo onye Igbo ka ịwa dị nwa aja so ana m ekene gị ka isi wee nụta ọda gosikwana ududu zuu bikos imekwukwala ọbata igosikwala ọbata obie na ọnya nwawa ka omee igosikwala na ọnya nwawa onye na-awa okwucha obe na ana Igbo be anyị na ana aja na o nwere onye ọzọ dị ka ya ọya ka iji wee mee obe ebe i mere ya obe ọmụnwa ya edise obe ya ọ dịrị possible so ana m ekene gị na that respect inyegodiri ihe wee gee nya ntị because mgbe ọ nọ na onye go 48 asị na ọ dị too much ha ọrụ ibe menye 1 minute and ọgwụ ji wee fụ na love onye go 48 and imekwene obe ichedu ka oluo 24 wee wepụ ya na 8 na thank you very much enweghị m ike ịpụta gbagba enweghị okwu ọjọọ mma agwa gị atọ sọnsọ ekene ka m na-enye gị na ugwu ịkwarị awa ọbata obie onye ndu ụmụ Biafra na-afụ anya na onye nwe onye na-achịnụ na Biafra niile for now na thank you very much ana dozie ya okwu and mma like kwa ka place ka akpị nwa amama pụtagwa ya okwu ka efu ya mara na ahụ zuru ya ezu na o nwere ife mere na news abịaghị ebe like this so anyị na-eche ka akpị nwa amama pụtagwa anyị si ụmụnne nne kwenu m na nsogbu adịrọ na ahụ zuru m oke sọnsọ ife anyị chọrọ because enwere ike ibu onye ụzọ a emechaa anyị afụ ya mgbe anyị ekwere afụ ya anya so ebe a ka njede sọnsọ ekene wee na-etu ọbata obie n'odu gwagwa agụ n'ukoro mmụọ ka ịhụ ukoro mmụọ ife ọbata ọdaa na lairis anama ama jijiji ọ dago and ọdadụ ugboro na-abụ oku ukoro wee ofu ugboro ka ọ na-ada ka mba kwuru mba na anụ ya ukoro mmụọ ọ dago onye ọna ma anụ ya and ma mee ibe ewu ukoro kwu maka ọda nke ugboro na-abụ nsogbu a wee dị oku ukoro daa ugboro na-abụ ma na nsogbu adịgo so ukoro mmụọ ha kwagịwa nwe aka mma esogide gị wee ruo n'ọgwụgwụ a na-egbugodu m egbu mma na-eso gị ole si na ma nwụọla ma bilite nwụzie mana mma na-esokwa gị na mmụọ iwu ka ọnwụ nna m jisi ike Chineke gọziele gị n'ịfụnanya ị nwere ebe ụmụ ndị gboo nọ ọ dịghị izi o gosiri na iwe good leader jisi ike ezi mmasị na ezi nwanne m ama m nke mma akpọ ga-akpọ ọdai mana ana m asị gị ndo nna aba anyị ikuku nna ọ gwara ka ọchị ya batago bara ebe gị tara
ama m na that akwa arịrị nwaanyị a belụ otipịalụ gị gwuo
na o sere m ụtarị mmụọ ọkara ntụ nwaanyị na-arụ
Okay, before moving forward, first of all, let us talk briefly. Let us talk briefly about the current threat from one criminal who is currently parading himself as the illegitimate governor of Anambra State. I actually have something very, very strong to say about this. something very strong. So, but first of all, let's play the video, and then we will. I die Vam Vam Vam. Thank God, Honorable Vam 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 is here with us.
Ikuku na.
Hey yo.
Iya go na address mo honorable. Come honorable.
Honorable Keun. Honorable Keun. Honorable Adade Olama. Nka ba adim badana.
Ikuku na honorable ndumbu na ndege deti nada.
Honorable
ndumbu na ndege.
So this broadcast is now getting to the peak. This is getting now to the more exciting, part of it. So let us first of all play the video, and then we will analyze it.
Be open on Mondays. And I'm on inspection to be sure that your shops are all open. Every Monday, every shop must be open. On Mondays, and in the main market must be open. I came to see how it is going. We are bringing security to make sure that everybody has adequate security.
Let us keep it there. So that we don't have to play it once and then we'll come back to start playing it again. Honorable Vam Vam Vam, please. This idiot said he is bringing security to make sure that there is adequate security in the main market on it, specifically because that is where he was. So, and if you go back to what happened in the old Enugu state, the same word, or should I leave this video to play because it's just like within 2 minutes? Should I allow it to play, or we should analyze it as he goes?
As it goes, you can analyze it. But I don't know why I'm not hearing the video on my own phone. Why? Because I joined on the phone and I'm streaming with the computer. On my phone that I joined, I'm not seeing the video. Why is it that way? Very strange.
You're not seeing the video?
Yeah. But
oh my God.
Just play it. Play it. I will mute myself and listen to it from another device.
Okay. Okay, fine.
Play from the top.
Okay.
And I'm on inspection to be sure that your shops are all open. Every Monday, every shop must be open.
He said every Monday, every shop must be open. That is the first word he said. He said he's on inspection. He's inspecting, main market and other markets especially on Onitsha, which is the economic hub of an old Anambra state. So he went for inspection to inspect how the markets are doing, and that was on Monday. So let's continue.
To be open on Mondays. And in the main market must be open. I came to see how it is going. We are bringing security to make sure that everybody has adequate security.
He said they are bringing security to make sure that everybody has adequate security. So now, Honorable Vam Vam Vam, if you go back to old Enugu state, you will realize that the Wabanse Nenugu Pitamba, when his own madness was, on top, he also made this same comment when he was threatening Biafrans in Ogbete Enugu main market. He also said that he is bringing adequate security to protect them so that they can be able to open market. And this adequate security he brought was the you know, what the next thing we saw was the massacre of innocent Biafrans in Ogbete, Enugu State. And Prime Minister said here on this same video, he said that he wants to bring Janjaweed to massacre our people in Onitsha. So, are you seeing the same scenario playing out again in Cape Azua?
Yes.
Exactly. Exactly. The same scenario is what is about to play out, but we are nipping it to the bud as quickly as we can. We are nipping it to the bud because Soludo is just an idiot that if he had sense, he would have learned from, you know, what others have done and failed. Now, the problem with this goat is that for the past how many years now, you know, these people have not complained to him. These people have deliberately and you know, willingly decided to sit on their own every Monday without operating their businesses. And the reason is not far-fetched. He knows the reason because of Mazin Namdekan. Now, as Soludo, inspecting the market is going on Monday. Is that what he has? Ask him, what has he achieved for the past how many years he has been in Anambra State as the legitimate governor? What has he achieved? With all the money he's collecting, from Abuja, what did he achieve? Nothing. What has these people, okay, with the business they have been doing every other day, apart from Monday, what have they benefited from him being governor of Anambra State? Have they benefited anything from him? The answer is no. So if these people have not benefited nothing from him, and he's coming to give them order on when to come and when not to come, it shows that he's a fool, a big loser. And this particular scenario he wants to repeat exactly what happened in Enugu State. The people are already aware of it. They know how they roll. The people already know who have their best interests at heart. Now, you are going to see how they are going to ridicule him on Monday. They are going to make, that is a fool of Soludo once again. And not only will they make fool of him, our men on ground, Biafra Liberation Army and the Biafra Defense Forces are going to actually have fun with all this Janjaweed is going to bring. That is if you will even venture to bring them. Because all those ones now, they are already afraid. Because if they begin to hear that yesterday and today, that their own colleagues that went to where they are not supposed to go, that they are being carried away with sacks. Because I saw one video where they were crying and then wailing. People that have no business in Biafra land and they are there. So go, let me see the people he will go and maybe he will go to Sambisa Forest and recruit the ones that he will bring as his security men on that day. Because our people are already aware. They are already aware. And one thing that is interesting is that as far as this Monday sit-at-home is concerned, the eyes and the ears of all Biafrans are on the Biafra Republic government. Their ears are on whatever our Prime Minister says. Yes. Because every time I even call him or I hear from them, they will say, what did the Prime Minister say? Is there any change? As long as they have not heard that there's any change to the sit-at-home from the office of the Prime Minister, anything Soludo is saying is just all null and void. Null and void. Thank you, Ikuku.
Thank you. Anything Soludo says is all null and void. That is wonderful. Okay, we move.
In a match every Monday. The question is on Monday. Also. What again? I didn't know what's to be fine. You can answer like I don't want to be them. I'm not giving it to you. I'm not giving it. This is unacceptable. I'll be here again every Monday. I'll be back here anytime. Okay, we move. In a match every Monday. The question is. A shop that is not open will be sealed and will never be open again for that week.
Okay.
Even at the point, if you are not open, we will seal you for 1 month. You won't open. Once it is ready to open, but say they're ready to open, you open from Monday.
Okay. Honorable Ndimbo Nandiagede, I have come to your office. This this criminal that stole the money of Nigeria as the former central bank governor under Obasanjo, this criminal said that if anybody fails to open his or her shop in Onitsha, especially, that he's going to seal their shop for 1 week or even 1 month. That when next you come to collect the key, you are going to open from Monday. Based on constitution and right of people, the shops in Onitsha, to be precise, where he came, the shops there belong to the people. It's either you are paying rent or you are in your own shop that you purchase with your own money. So the goods inside the shop belongs to you. Everything about that business belongs to you. And remember that Soludo, as the illegitimate governor of the defunct Anambra state, never opened any scheme or program to finance or financially back any business in the old Anambra state. Soludo and his government has no any program to financially back any small businesses or large businesses in Anambra state. There is nothing like that. It does not exist. Yet Soludo still believes, because he is living in the past. This is a man who is living in the past. He doesn't live in the present. So whose right does he have, or who gave him the right to shut down or lock down anybody's shop in Anambra, in the old Anambra or Onitsha, to be precise? Please, I chunky ku there. Honorable Ndimbo Nandiagede.
Wow, nna ịma nwa mgbe ahụ pụta oge ahụ na ọ pụtara na-ebe ka nwa awọ na-ebe ka ya oche na ihe niile ezugolie. Nọmba 1 ọ datara Soludo nwa mgbe ahụ jere Ọnịcha sị na ya bịara ije cheki. Ịma na afta ka awadida Maazị Nnamdi Kanu bịachara this last court ọ bịanụ, ndị be anyị melitere afro gain ya ihe ulu sitati home ahụ, mkpụrụ sitati home ahụ wetara. So ọ dị ka ha taitiri ya mmụọ. So ụjọ wee ba nwa mgbe ahụ Soludo arụ, wee pụta ibe ka nwa ahụ. Now ọ na-asị ha dat na ya bịara, ọ bịa nene cheki ka ma ka ha si wee nọrọ, wee nyekwe n'ọda onye emepezi shop ya, that na ya lock the shop for 1 month or any amount or any month, so any days or na it was imepe on Monday. Number 1, so Soludo nwa mgbe ahụ chezara that na ofu onye adị esiri ọha. No, ọha na nyawo ofu onye siela ọha ericha, mana ọha siela ofu onye ọha ericha. Soludo nwa mgbe ahụ wele mara that wee chezo that na ọwụ that na ndị old Anambra decide ya no ife akafa ya eme. Soludo nwa mgbe ahụ ya eme ibe dị na ya. Number 1, Soludo nwa mgbe ahụ chọrọ inyefa security. Jukene nkeri security ọ na-ewetere fa. Kedu ibe gbasara Soludo nwa mgbe ahụ na business ndị mmadụ otu ihe penny? Solution governor. Kedu ibe gbasara Soludo nwa mgbe ahụ na alili n'ude ụmụ ndị gbuo na-asụ, ụmụ ndị old Anambra na-ebe every day, na ndị Soludo nwa mgbe ahụ wetara eji ụgọma akụwasị akụjisi ọkpa ọkwado na Ọnịcha. So oludo nwa mgba ahụ chezaro na ndị echezobe mpụ na arụla na pen niile ọ kọsụrụ fa na arụ. Now, Governor care about you. A useless man amani na-eme exist. Bịara kpọrọ ndị ụchọ ibie. Kpojuo farụ na-eche ya nche. Ọbịa na Ọnịcha ibe ka nwa awọ. Ịpụta those people ọ kpọrọ bịa ya agbagbukwa gị. Nwa mgbe ahụ ebulu ozugwu buje ebe nwa mgbe ahụ ya ewekwara ọgan go. Onye nwụrụ anwụ anwụgo. Sọlụ udo nwa mgbe ahụ amara onye nwụrụ n'ụzọ akwa ya na-atụ. The only thing that idiot ma onwe na family ya. Ego aji agba mkpụrụ mmiri ọ na-agba ụmụ ya na-agba. Nọ nka nwunye ose okwu onye egbu amụnwa amarọ. The only thing na-agwa ụmụ ndị gboo ụmụ Igbo. Ụdatịna onwere onye nwụrụ na-apụta ụwa ọzọ. Ọnwụ na sidisi idiot ka ọsọ ọlụdo nwa mgbe ọhụụ na oke ala. Oke ala ha iwepụtara nụ sekuriti na-egbuchasị ụnụ. Ọkwasa ọlụdo nwa mgbe ahụ na-abịa agwa ụnụ okwu sitati ma ụnụ pụta na-agwa ụnụ okwu biznes ụnụ. Wepụtara ndị jiri mma mụ gọma were bịa na-akụrisi ngwa ahịa ụmụ mmadụ. Ọkwa nwa mgbe ahụ a ọkwa sekuriti ihe ndị na-akụ aka odo o wepụtara ụnụ. Nne anya ka ngwa ụnụ ụmụnne m adị anwụ ugboro na-abụ ya na anwụ wọs. Ụnụ afụgo na dis sitati ụnụ na-enweta fa ọnwụ na ọ naghị emetụta sọlụ udo nwa mgbe agwụ yere ha pụta. Onye ha pụta be ka nwa awụ ọmbụ ọ na-ebe o mene n'Enugwu omego n'Enugwu mara na ama na ebe izi ibe asọlụ udo chọrọ ime na Ọnịcha na omego n'Enugwu Peter Mbe emeghị jeenu jụọ ndị Enugwu ka ọ na-ada ide ama agwa ụmụ ndị gboo ọnwụ na sọlụ udo chi kpọchi dị home market hapụrụ ya ka ọ kpọchie ya na ọ kpọchi mgbe ya ụdatị na ụnụ niile ekwekọrịta ha ọnwụ nụnụ ji ofu obi na-aga sọlụ udo enweghị ihe o ya eme obecha ka nwa awọ na onwere ife mkpụrụ odisi idiot ya metara ọnụ awụhụ pen ọ na-akọ ọsụ na everyday by useless security criminals ọ na-ewepụta. Ọ laikere ọnụ ọ na-akwụsị kidnap ọ na-akwụsịgodo ọgan ụnụ a na-ewegha na-egbu ụmụ mmadụ ewekọrọ ọgan na-ele ọ kwụsịgodo ihe anibe dị ya mkpa wee bịa kwụsị sit at home. Ụmụnne m sọsọ ozi ka m na-eze ụmụ ndị gboo all these useless people enwere uru faba. Ụnụ atụkwa n'egwu na onye akpọchi eme market ya kpọchie ya with double key. Ọnwụ na sọlụ udo nwe key onye ji wee kpọchi eme market anyị atụọla container key. Ọnwụ na one container ezo anyị wetara 2 container even ọ chọkwa 100 container anyị dị ka kpebere anyị atụọla ya ka o wee nwee ike ịkpọchi ya ọfụma. Rubbish. Ụnụ yere abịa ya jere a place. Ọnwụ na this man a na-akpọ sọlụ udo enwere shame. O yere amagodu reaction ndị mmadụ na njem ije oje na main market. Mmadụ one na-ekwetụrụ ya ọkwa ụmụ criminal ndị a na-akụ aka odo na-ekwetụrụ ya. Onye ndị na-ekwere ọkwa ndị a na-akụ aka odo pụtanụ ka e were aka odo nye ụnụ anya solution gọvanọ trenụrụ ụmụ mmadụ anaghị emere kidnap na-egbuchasịrị ya ndị mmadụ bịa igbujuo afọ onye nwere ike ọbịa kọmishọn ọlọgụ one place onye nwa ka o ji zawa ka solution gọvanọ. Ụmụnne m nso doritin na-agụ n'ụmụ ndị gboo datina jisi na ike kwụsie n'oke ebe ụnụkwụ unu esheki na esheki ọkwa ma ọ na-ahịa analugo that peace will come and that love will come and that security will come. Sọsọ ife nna ya ụnụ jisi na ike unu esheki hapụrụ ndị a na-awa egbu oburu isi. Ndewo na ụmụnne m ikuku na ka mgba break.
Ndewo.
Monday through to Saturday. All the shops you want to trade around here, all the shops must be open Monday to Saturday. So if you have a shop and you can't open it on Mondays, then keep it locked for the rest of the week. Are you with me? And we're going to enforce this. If it's a plaza, you lock it up on Monday, then you will not be able to open it for the week. Are you getting me?
Okay, Pastor Vam, I'm going to come to you, but before then, let me first of all read out, of course, the comment of the Prime Minister His Excellency Ekpa Simon Njokun, which he, of course, said something very, 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 very important today concerning this very, of course, Soludo's shenanigan. And according to the PM, he said, this is the so-called governor who already lost legitimacy.
Yes.
Who has already lost legitimacy to stand, of course, as the governor of who? First of all, as far as Biafra land is concerned today, in the eyes of the Biafran people, we no longer have Anambra. I'm sorry to say that. It doesn't matter who is concerned. We no longer have Anambra because the Biafra government, with the support of the Biafran people located within that area or territory that is called that used to be called Anambra State, have agreed to have 3 states out of that very defunct state that was under Nigeria.
Yes.
This is no apology, because also Metotamua, and I love it. I love it so much. So now, first of all, we do no longer have Anambra as Biafrans. Now, somebody who is parading himself, not only that there is no more state for him to govern, yet at the same time, the people have rejected him and gave their vote to the Biafra government for the declaration of Biafra. That is number 2. Number 3, the same people gathered on the 27th of February, 2022, 27th of February, 2022, and passed vote of no confidence on these criminals that parade themselves as political elites in our land, yet they are still gallivanting all over the places. Your Excellency, sir, Mr. Governor, sir, mad people who do not even know the present situation,
Yes.
who are living in the past. Now, who has lost legitimacy, now threatening Biafrans in Anambra. The next is that he will start buying them. The Anambra command of the BDF will start operation. By the Python immediately to make sure we put Chukwuma Soluafufuna Fulani and his threat to where they belong. Honorable Ajere, aka Pastor Van Van Van, please. The Prime Minister said the Anambra command, the old Anambra command of the Biafra Defense Force, will start operation by the Python immediately, to make sure we put Soluafufuna Fulani and his threat to where they belong. At the same time, Pastor Van Van Van, the same Soluafufuna Fulani assuring an unseen crowd or a paid crowd, I can't call it a crowd because they are just a few paid agents, that he is going to provide adequate security for them. Now, Pastor Van Van Van, please bring in the BDF, which you know how radical we are, and the terrorist army, which you know how they, derive joy in buying innocent Biafrans, especially Igbos. What message do you have for our people who trade in Onitsha market and other markets in the old Anambra State?
Thank you very much, Watineke Ikuku. Now, every Biafran by now knows that our Biafran Liberation Army are very concerned with our population, and for us, the rules of engagement is very, very important. So we observe rules of engagement, especially they have seen how that the zoo army that comes to Biafra land, they are always carried away in body bags. And we have never heard that while confronting the zoo army, that there are innocent civilians that are affected, because we know what the rules of engagement is. So we always wait for them where they try to come. And then when they come, they meet their Waterloo. So in the same way and manner, Biafrans, you must know that the threats of Soludo to send security into your marketplaces where you have no security concerns, because if there is anything like security concern, Soludo will not be there. It will not be there. What you'll be hearing is patapa, because there are security concerns. But Soludo came in there, the shops were locked. He came in with all the people he rented, because while they were going about, he was pointing shops and saying those shops will open, because there were no shops open actually. They already arranged for those that will carry back and put in the corridor of business places, and they were shaking them. The real shops you saw them were all locked. So
Yes.
all the people you saw there were not part of the business people in those market area. And so obviously there was nothing like a security concern. And so where you will have a problem as a Biafran is that you will ignore the warning of the Prime Minister and the warning of the government of Biafra, because Soludo, like my brother and the comrade have already stressed, Soludo is illegitimate. He has no state, no more portfolio as far as Biafra land is concerned. Anambra state does not exist anymore. You understand? So for you to be spared, so that we will not be thinking about rules of engagement. When we engage these criminals that will come to Biafra land, on it precisely, stay in your home. Stay in your home. Because we maintain the rule of engagement. We target the enemies, but the enemies will target you. We target them, but they will target you. The only way you will know that we target them is that so far so good, you have never seen the body of Biafrans lying on the streets after our engagement with these, blood-sucking demons and all these terrorists that come to personal land. Only their bodies are being carried away. So for you to be safe and sound, stay in your home. Don't come out. Leave the business for us. And I want to bet you with my 10 fingers and my 10 toes, Soludo will not near those places. I'm telling you. And because if he wants us to make him a scapegoat, then let him come out. Let him join those people he wants to carry and come out, and then so that's just all I will say to Biafrans. And of course, I know you all are always listening, and you know who has your interest at heart. So listen and stay at home. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Honorable Vam. Now, Adade Olama, I don't know if you have something to say for this concerning this issue, because we want to move into another segment right now, which is most important. I said the most important discussion we have this evening. So, if you have something more to say about this, quickly say it and round up so that we can move to the next segment.
Oh, nwanne m nwoke Honorable Ajele ekwusia na ihe niile. The only thing na-agwa ndị be ahụ that na ọhụta ka a maara onye a na-akpọ nwamgbe ahụ Soludo nwamgbe ahụ ọhụta ka unu maara onye ahụ. Unu nwere ife mere n'Enugu steeti. Unu amara that na Old Enugu na amara that na ka nwamgbe ahụ chọrọ ime na Old Anambra steeti. Unu ekwere ka ejizie ọbara unu wee chụọ aja, ọ ka ewere ọga na unu wee tụọ mgbele. Biko na ụmụnne m, unu atụpụrụ na ya ọnụ sọsọ ife m ekwudebe for now.
Ndewo, Honorable Ndimbo Nandiagede. Thank you so much for your, of course, your submission. Now, I wanted to say something about that. What I wanted to say is Biafrans should be asking questions. Biafrans should be asking very important question. That how comes after all the battles fought against this Monday sit at home, after all the battles fought against Monday sit at home by these criminals, it at some point it looked as if the battle has ended. The battle has died off. Now, all of a sudden, Ekpa boom, Soludo Maputa. Ka Soludo Maputa nke Ekpa now to continue the fight. Has any Biafran asked what has happened? Now, what has happened is very simple. There's a particular broadcast I made some few weeks ago before the court appearance of our leader Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, whereby I revealed an intel that I got that the governors and the criminals, the structured criminals, were arranging to persuade Mazi Nnamdi Kanu to publicly denounce Mazi Simon Ekpa, the Prime Minister. So Mazi Nnamdi Kanu failed them in this last. Actually, he would have been released. He would have been partially, or they would have the way actually in a way, but in the eyes of Biafrans, it will look like he has been released, but he will still be under the captivity of these criminals, these criminal politicians in the south, in the old eastern region. So, as Mazi Nnamdi Kanu failed them on his last court appearance, failed them, he never mentioned Mazi Simon Ekpa. Rather, he even, he downgraded the people. He failed them, and at the same time, he put shame on them, telling them, even though he did not mention their names, he told them that, look, you people, all you sellouts, your end is near. Now, that thing got them angry. Both the saboteurs in the structure and the saboteurs in the government. That is the reason why, and this attack is just starting. This attack is just the beginning. Something is going to happen. Something, even the attack is coming, and it's going to be even worse than what it used to be, or what we have already seen before. The attack which is coming in Ekpa is going to be worse than what we have already seen, because the kind of pressure that is being mounted upon these idiots that claim to be Igbo politicians, the pressure is coming from Britain, and the pressure is coming from Asorok. We are not even talking about our own pressure, the pressure we are giving them on our own. We are not talking about that one, but the pressure which is coming from Britain and Asorok. They have been threatened to lose their position. Should what is going on in the East continues, they will lose their position. People are not aware of what is going on. These criminals are being threatened to lose. I want every Biafran listening today to mark it somewhere. These people are being threatened to lose their positions should they fail to curtail what they call excessiveness of both Mazi Simon Ekpa and Biafra freedom fighters. I want everybody to write it down today. In no distant time, you will start seeing wonders. There's a very big threat on their position. That's why you see Soludo now coming out. And it's not going to end with Soludo. All of them, more of them will come. Even the ones who think that that can never speak will come out to speak. Now, let us leave that one. Ofunne Gianibea. Let us delve into the next segment, which is going to be our final topic this evening. And I will start with Honorable Ajere. We all know that recently, of course, I wanted to title this broadcast, Prime Minister Mazi Simon Ekpa has been vindicated. Biafra Liberation Army vindicated. And of course, BRGIE vindicated. That was the title I was planning to give this to this very live broadcast before the issue of course, Speed Darlington came up. Now, the PM, the BLA, the BRGIE have all been vindicated.
Yes.
Couple of days ago, we saw the the news and video from TVC where one Fulani terrorist came to a place called Mbano to inspect a certain building or project which was built as an open university. And this open university was to be a school. People were deceived that school is being built for them. But
Yeah.
unfortunately, they never knew that the Fulani has a different plan. After the inspection, it was announced on media that they are going to bring IDP, internally displaced people, to come and occupy that facility. And it was like a slap to the face of the Biafran government. It was a slap to the face of the people, the indigenous people within that very axis. It was also the biggest slap to the entire. Can you hear me?
We didn't hear you before. Now you're back.
Okay. So it was a big slap to all of us that Janjaweed the Bambiala will come all the way from Futanjalon to our land and bring Boko Haram to infiltrate our land and desecrate our God-given and blessed ancestral land. Then glory be to God that we have a very, very swagalicious prime minister who doesn't take time to act. He swung into action immediately. The news was broken. And of course, the rest was the case. The Biafra Defense Forces did the needful by making sure that such thing can never happen. And since then, the zoo has shut up. Now, the Prime Minister himself came out again during his State of the Nation address, told us the reason why that place was razed down. And some people, including some media outlets in the zoo, were bashing on him, hating on him, hitting on him, saying all kinds of words against him. But he pretended as if he did not hear anything. But today, we have an evidence. And that very evidence is what the whole world is seeing on the screen right now. I'm going to begin with Honorable Ajere, aka Pastor Vam Vam Vam, and then I will come to Honorable Ndimbunandiagede. According to the man who is an incumbent governor of Borno State, where Boko Haram started, he said, Boko Haram has infiltrated IDP camps in Borno. Governor Zulum raises alarm. I don't have to read it in full. You see, I don't think I have to read it in full. Now, let's begin with Honorable Vam Vam Vam. Mazi, Boko Haram has infiltrated IDP camps. He didn't say camp.
No camps.
Honorable, are you listening?
I'm following.
He didn't say camp. He said camps. Multiple camps. Boko Haram has infiltrated IDP camps, internally displaced persons camps in Borno State. And the same IDP camps is the one that they want to bring to Imo State, in the name of training. Mazi, I don't want to ask you a question. Please, just take it up from there. And I have another voice note. I have a voice note. I may not be able to play it today because of time, which was sent to me by a retired captain, a retired naval officer. I have that voice note. I'm going to play it very soon concerning this very latest development. So please pick it up from here, Mazi.
Thank you very much. I don't know if it's my voice coming out very clear.
Loud and clear. Yeah. Go ahead.
Beautiful. IDP camps. The simple reason it is IDP camps is because everywhere in that area has been taken over by Boko Haram. And how did he even know? He didn't need to go and take a survey or to go and investigate. He already knows the people that are there. They relate with Boko Haram. Boko Haram is their foot soldiers, so they know. So all this one is just sounding an alarm. It's not as if he's sounding an alarm. Did you hear him say, come and help us to chase out the Boko Haram inside IDP camp? No. He's just saying Boko Haram have infiltrated IDP camp just for it to make the news. And they talk about it's a norm. Because they are not calling for help. Because if they were calling for help, then what it means is that the armies they are sending to Biafra land should be in Borno State, taking care of the issues of Boko Haram that have infiltrated IDP camps. So they don't need the help of the military. In fact, that is the reason why they are sending the military to Biafra land. In fact, those of them that are less busy infiltrating camps are the ones they want to send to Biafra land, of which they never return. Yeah. They never return. So you can now see that these people, they know what they are doing. In Biafra land, there are no internally displaced persons. Nowhere in Biafra land. Not in all Imo State, not in all Anambra State, not in all Ebonyi State, not in all Enugu State. Nowhere in Biafra land do we have IDP camp. Talk less of camps. We don't even have one. Now, they are coming to a place where there is serenity, safety, security to bring IDP. And now, this goes as a sound and a note of warning to everyone. Now, you see what our Prime Minister did. Gone are the days when we will wait and for it to happen. And when it happens, we will not be crying for help. We no longer cry for help. Biafra land now is under our control. We don't need you to give us permission to drive away uninvited guests in our territory. Every Nigerian army is an uninvited guest. Every Nigerian official is an invited or uninvited guest. Now, as Toludo, Solon Mefu, Solon Ekwensu, Solon Demo has turned himself the instrument of the zoo. Now, he is an uninvited guest in Biafra land. And we have drawn that line. As the python will be taken care of, uninvited guests will be chased out of Biafra land. The days of these criminals are numbered. Because I don't see the reason why we have shown you without any mistake that, look, Biafra land, we don't need any of such things. We are taking care of the military. And the military people from Nigeria, the terrorist military, they are not denying it. They are not, we are showing them what. Some of them are seeing it. All of them are seeing it. And yet you see these things and you come and show yourself and say, you come and do this or come and do that. Why do you still hear about Hope of danger? We no longer hear Hope of danger doesn't even talk anymore because he knows that he has no mouth in Biafra land anymore. So the people he's now using are proxies like that. Is he Ibezim, the idiot that set up that training camp? You saw how it was raised down. If what they were doing was legitimate, Biafra Unite, by now, wouldn't you have seen a panel of inquiry and all them threatening, breathing hell and slaughter that they will come to Biafra land to destroy? The veteran did not even say much about the building that was raised down. And we took responsibility of it. And they know that what we did was the needful. And we will do even more if they try and make any attempt. So that is why when we show you what we can do and you see it that we are doing it, then you see, why this year corner to come to show yourself. We will teach you a lesson that you will never forget in a hurry.
Exactly.
God bless our Prime Minister. Airborne.
All the car, you change your device. Your voice is very, very smart in Ekpa as well now.
Yes, when I went out, I had to come in properly. Now I can see everything clearly.
Oh, okay, that's nice. So, Adadolamma, sorry, Honorable Ndimbo Nandeged, of course. Biko, ajụjụ nwere ịjụ bụ keife kalime, keife ndị Igbo na ndị Biafra at large kara ịkọlụ our children, our grandchildren. Nke ikpeazụ a bụ na akara the biggest and the best opportunity the Janjaweed had to bring Boko Haram to our land and infiltrate our land by proxy. Kedu ife anyị kala ịkọlụ ndị nne na ndị nna na ụmụaka anyị nke ikpeazụ a na anyị torobere anya Boko Haram emesịa finally bata n'ala Igbo bido na-amasa ka ndị be anyị ma ọ bụ na ya nwere somebody like Simon Ekpa ka ife anyị kara ịkọ ka otu sori akara isi wee dị biko gbakena anyị
na ọnyanwụ ọ na-eme ihe na-adịghị ekwe omume, ọ na-eme ihe na-adịghị ekwe omume, ọ na-eme ihe na-adịghị ekwe omume, ihe na-adịghị ekwe omume, ihe na-adịghị ekwe omume ka gịnị ọkwa ifuru egwu a amara m ife o ji wee pụta mana egwu a siri ike osika and o kpokọrọ okwu niile because na ndị ụchụ a allow what the mazin and the car this IGP camp where it will be easy. Normal, order IGP camp plan. Mba, imagine a IGP camp na Obatobi ka egwu na atoma. Ụjọ ji ha. Family ụzọ ha ya esi were bata. Maka na ngala ọnwụ that na after ka ha lechara our leader. Enwere onye dị ka Obatobi. Anya na-ekwuzi okwu Igbo na onwezidi. O nwere one video watched one day. Ụmụ nwaanyị juru ebe ụmụ nwaanyị juru na convert ha. Ikuku na Honorable Van Mama na watch that video. Ụmụ nwaanyị ebe bancha niile na convert ha na ebe.
Yes. I watched on that video.
Ibe ka dị na ana Igbo.
Exactly.
Did that even exactly ife ka dị na ana Igbo. Chineke wee wepụta Obatobi from nowhere. Wee ficha Igbo anya mmiri. Ficha the whole Biafra niile anya mmiri. Iji gwa gị eziokwu. Even o fichakwuru ma ndị Yoruba anya mmiri. Because na ndị amakwa onye nwụrụ n'ụzọ akwa ya na fama akwa oke, ama ha oke, sọsọ ibe ama onwe fa. Iji gwa gị eziokwu. Mana Chineke anyị wee kwuo okwu ikpeazụ. Na iwetara ya Obatobi ndị a wee fu nke tọrọ bịa ti. Mana ndị be anyị ife na-ewute m ebe ndị Igbo nọ ịma ndị Igbo ha focus ha na that their business. Ha anaghị amazi ibe a na-ekwu. Mana kịta thank God amalabago. Ana m ayọ Chineke sị ka o mepee ha anya. Amala. Ịma na ndị be anyị sị na o nwere okwu na asị na amamihe okwu anyị ji eme exist na Igbo n'okwu Igbo. N'ọnọdụ ka maka okwu ahụ ka ndị Igbo jizi aduzi otu asị na ndị asị na Igbo adịghị agba ọsọ mmiri n'ozu arụ. Ndị na-anya ọwụla eziokwu onye ọdati n'ibe okwu dị ire ine-anya ọwụla eziokwu enye na-agba ọsọ ebe a kịta ndị ọzọ a na-agba ụmụ ndị ọzọ ya abịa na-asị kedu ibe na-achụ ndị ahụ ya afụ ndị na-eje eje kedu mara ihe na-achụ ndị ahụ isted ha nwee gbawa ọntiri n'ozu ofe ahụ ụmụnne m loritin na-agwa ndị Igbo dati na ndị Igbo ana m ekwu okwu ndị Igbo maka ọnwa na-epe this supplies na njem nwere onwe a yes them pay ọha. So even na yo ụmụnne m that na number 1 of us rogodu kene Chineke ụtụtụ na ebe n'abalị iwetara anyị mmadụ dị ka ukolo mmụọ na ọ dịghị izi wee na-asa that na ọnwụ na fa amaghị ife ya gaa imenu amara m ife me ji save video ahụ Honorable Vam Honorable ikuku na ọnwụ na o nwere ka e esi wetakwa dati video. Ana m achọ dati video amala m ka m esi nwetie ka m gosikwa ndị be anyị ka ha fụ ihe anyị si na ya o ihe Chineke wepụrụ anyị na ya onye ka ha ji were disi IGP camp were bịa and mara na ihe ha chọrọ ibupụta ụmụ nwaanyị nwekwa ụmụ nwoke na ụmụaka because na ndị di ha arọrọgo na Biafra land ọhịa ha believe already ihe anyị na-emezi ụdati na each community one day no na-enwere one community attack. Eme ha na community ahụ attack ma mefu unu ọnwụ na-achụpụrụ mmadụ na ya ndị Fulani ebido ebe ha nọ na that school ahụ ajọsụ kpụta na that school ahụ ka ha wee bido ọrụ maka na ndị ọdịsi governors and senators ele naanị Igbo resi ndị Fulani. To be sincere to you unu ya eji ife mere ife Wuli Obianọ mere were mara that na ndị elego ana Igbo Wuli Obianọ ha ndị ha na sọlụ udo over daide ọba flight na America jezi America kpọgharị nkịtị ya anyị na-anwụzi anwụnwụ ozikwe na ebe ọ gbasaghị ọ kọrọ etiga ego so aka na-agwa ndị be anyị saa datina n'onye ka ha eji were mara datina ọnwụ na ha succeed na ọnwụ na ọnwụ ukolo mmụọ bido pụta anụ wuche awa Biafra angel binyere ọrụ eziokwu niile ndị ewere bata na dati ebe ma ibe ọzọ na-emewu dati agbata obi ahụ nke ha agwụgo every night eme ha attack onye achụpụ n'ụlọ ndị Fulani ebiche ihe a na-eme na kedu ọkwa dị na Benue ihe a na-eme na Benue nke Benue a na-aba gbuchazi ebe akpọrọ bata mana nke ha nọzi anọ before anyị nwere ihe na-eme ndị take go over one community and any comment mekata na nweta community gbaa gbọrọgbọrọ na that community ahụ okwu agwụgo ọ dị plan ukolo mmụọ wee daa n'ike ọsọ wee bụ onye ukwu azụ bụ onye nta azụ ha were kwugharị ebe ekwuzi ha were kwugharịkwasị gọzie na be ekwu ozi and otu aka ha esi na-agụ ya every day but their plan can never succeed. They can never succeed. Ya ka nji akpọ Igbo niile, Igbo zuzugbe niile, Igbo mụrụ nze mụọ ọzọ. Ọnwụ na ha support this struggle. If I mean, this IGP camp, when I na amara also in Imo State. I just will Imo State we test here, ukolo mmụọ. Ka anyị mara ihe o ya ekwu. Ka plan ya Imo State, ka plan ya na Odo Anambra, ka plan na no de Enugu. O that can say plan na ebe niile. I work with on that place. So ụmụnne m ekelere Chineke anyị na-enye m obi aṅụrị 24 hours mgbe ọnwụra nchetere na anyị nwere mmadụ na Chineke agbawa anyị aka afta ka elechara walide Maazị Nnamdi Kanu plan bụ awụ ọwụrụ ihe ibunye Chineke enu ifinye Chineke mmụọ anyị n'Igbo ekene wee na-ekenekwa agbata obi ukolo mmụọ udiri aka mmiri na m ekene gị jisi ike so na ikuku nna anyị ma agụzi ebe a maka ịgbakwa m nkịtị mkpaze adaghị.
Okay, let me briefly read the article and then we'll round it up. Borno State Governor Baba Agana Zulum has raised serious concerns. And I'm reading from Zoo Media, has raised serious concerns over the infiltration of Boko Haram insurgents into internally displaced persons, IDP camps in the state, warning that the terrorists are using the camps as hideouts after carrying out attacks. Now, the terrorists are not just using the camp as hideout. No, there is absolutely nothing like that, unless Zulum himself does not understand the plans of his fellow Fulani political elites. There is absolutely nothing like hideout after carrying out attacks. No. These were the same people that they planned to bring to Biafra land in the old Imo State, to be precise.
Exactly.
They are not using IDP camps as hideout after attacks. No, they are there. They are there already. The likes of Kashim Shettima planted them there. Planted them in those camps. Kashim Shettima is from Borno State. He is a Borno State man, Kashim Shettima. The other one, Modu Sherif. Modu Sherif. Another former governor of the same Borno State who joined Kashim Shettima to form Boko Haram is also from Borno State. The former deputy police commissioner who almost finished Igbo youths in Imo State, known as Abba Kyari, is also from Borno State. These are hardcore terrorists. Top terrorist commanders. They are all from Borno State. Today, as I'm talking to you, that same man called Abba Kyari is not in jail. He's not in Kuje prison. If an ordinary tout, like the idiot they called Honorable Van, please, can you remind me of the name of that that tout in Lagos State? That idiot that normally behave like
you just asked me and he escaped me.
Bobrisky.
That Agoro guy in
Bobrisky.
Is it Bobrisky you're talking about?
Yes, I'm talking about the idiot that normally act like a woman.
Okay, Bobrisky. Yeah, Bobrisky. Okay.
So if a tout like Bobrisky could be kept in a very comfortable accommodation and they pretended he was in jail, what about Abba Kyari? How about Abba Kyari? How do you believe How can people believe that Abba Kyari is in prison? Abba Kyari can never be in prison when they are the one ruling the zoo through terrorism. So, all these top terrorist commanders are from Borno State, including the current Vice President of the Zoological Republic. Now,
you might be surprised that Abba Kyari is even somewhere in Saudi Arabia as we speak. He's somewhere in Kuwait. Not in Nigeria.
Cooling off somewhere, enjoying his life. Cooling off somewhere, enjoying his life. Now, the IDP camp itself has nothing to do with the Boko Haram has nothing to do with infiltration, or it was in fact they were all planted there in order to be shipped to Biafra land. That was the plan. Not that they are using it as a backup, a cover-up after attacks. No. Now let's continue. Speaking during the resettlement of 3,800 displaced individuals in Konduga local government area, Zulum emphasized the growing security risk posed by insurgents blending in with displaced populations. He urged the Nigerian army and security forces to take immediate action to secure the camps and protect the vulnerable IDPs. Zulum expressed frustration, saying, "We can't tolerate this anymore. We can't tolerate this anymore. Boko Haram insurgents have infiltrated IDP camps, committing atrocities and perpetuating insecurity." A sitting governor is talking. He also expressed concerns over social issues in the camps, including reports of drug abuse and prostitution in the camp. Where they are all suffering. If you see the kind of aquachicha in the Ajararora, in the Abichana camp, and now they also have prostitutions, particularly involving young girls, which he warned was undermining the state's cultural values. Right? In response to the situation, Zulum announced plans to reduce several communities, including Awulari village in Konduga, and to construct 500 housing units in Sandia communities before the next rainy season. Now, let me finish it one hand, then I'll come with the question. He also provided financial and material assistance to returnees to help them reestablish their livelihoods while cautioning them against selling the resources provided. Now, Honorable Vam, I will take my question from here. We are rounding up. He said, in response to the situation, Zulum announced plans to rebuild several communities, including Awulari village in Konduga, and to construct 500 housing units in Sandia communities before the next rainy season. Now, these people that he is planning to build small houses for, over 500 housing units. Let us bring it back to the Zoo Janjaweed terrorist army, which Honorable Ndimbo Nandege also made mention of Benue State, which is what is going on today. My question is, Honorable Vam, what is stopping the Zoo army going into those villages, as mentioned by Zulum, and dispatch or displace or arrest or destroy or buy those terrorists in those villages, in order for these people who are currently in the IDP camp to return back to their ancestral land. What is holding the zoo, not only in Brno, including Benue, which is close to us? What is holding the zoo? Because every time I would sit down, I would think, nature was now, Josie. Why are these people in IDP camp? Their own lands are being occupied. And Nigeria is aware that the people living in those houses are the terrorists that buy the whole village and chase the remaining ones away to IDP camp and occupy the land. So what is holding the zoo to go back to those villages and clear those terrorists and return the IDP camps?
You know, when we talk about Islamization, you know, all those places that they chased them out, all those areas were Hausa land before. Now they have chased all of them out and put them in the IDP camps. And inside those IDP camps, the Boko Haram people have gone in there to radicalize them. Anyone they cannot radicalize. Of course, you know, they are not sending the military to go in there and fetch out the Boko Haram inside the IDP camps because their villages are virtually almost empty. So Zulum is not promising to go and build 500 units of houses. Who are those houses for? Because by the time those houses are declared, of course, maybe they might build. So if they end up building those houses, what it means is that they are building houses to resettle terrorists in those places. Because by the time those houses would have finished, the people that will be left in the IDP camps will all become Boko Haram families. Because there is no way Boko Haram infiltrate camps and allow them to live like normal human beings. They will radicalize them. Those that cannot radicalize, they will buy them. So they cannot go there. They will never interfere with their life there. Because everything about the Islamization is being perfected in those areas. So those areas are already warm areas. There are places in those areas they call ungovernable spaces. They call them, some of those places are called ungovernable spaces. So those places where, even those places where the villagers are still there, they are declared ungovernable because Boko Haram are taking over. Then where they have IGP camps, Boko Haram did not spare them also. They are taking over to make sure that everybody converts into the ideology of Boko Haram. That is why today, just like Emina Abaribe was saying, that even the normal herdsmen have now automatically turned into terrorists because the terrorists that came into Nigeria have radicalized the normal herdsmen that were in Nigeria before. All of them are now operating the same style. Yeah. They will convert them to become the same radical terrorists that they are. So what you now have in Borno State are all a bunch of Boko Haram families. And they're going to build houses and resettle Boko Haram families into those villages they take over. Because Boko Haram will not drive people away and then you bring the people back as normal free people. No, they will become Boko Haram. So that is why they were the people that congratulated Shetima. Remember, Shetima went to UN and came back. Boko Haram congratulated him and they welcomed him. These are the things you have going on in the zoo.
Imagine. Wahala deo. Now wow. You know what? I want you to say something about this briefly so that we can round up, and then we cannot round up without me bringing a 17 seconds clip of video, but I want you to say something about this before we move.
Okay, if we go, and the mice know holiday. Because in Anya, the Kaifa, this man who could ever now, in Anya, if you and will question that place. Manaju Naju, in the buy on our Jua, in the buy on our Fokoya Wife. I am my Ajuju. In Anya, this video now, after me. In fact, any name and ever end each life, I am my joy. Okay, Fugo. Nekenanya, when for destiny obaramanya mmiri. Go to the age of these boys, not here. The Nekenanya,
Zoo is finished. Zoo is gone.
underage, Umuili even
12 years.
yeah, for 12, 11 years here. Eburi egbe Hajebaba and Nezani for the commander na Agwafa. Tinye go to give for the commander na Agwia na Agwa Mazia.
They can answer you. This bastard. By the time I grab your mother walking on back.
Legodoyen Kano. Legodoyen care about 8 years. Let's say this one is 8 years. So does it mean that the zoo is finished and nobody wants to join the terrorist army again? Now they are
kidnap na. If a woman's they can't do anything. If a woman's hana bata no obodo like this, but just standing and I pokoro mo yiri umuhaze. Train no abu and you wouldn't be away. You can't do it. You can't do nothing. Because I'm from Nana and you umuhaza kere onyachikwa no umuhaza volunteer onwa. You children volunteer one capital yes naturally jami. Umaza under siege. And the worst part of that an international body now for this thing still can recognize this useless country as a country. Can you know Bodo? And this useless people are ashamed by presenting this kind of thing. It's a very Chineken. Then I am Mundibo. No one was in my womb. And I know and it will be angry. We do one day. Only I know. I won't only make it. I won't name before. Ogo see that now these useless people are go tired. Ogo see na feel lose go complete. Onwe ozi ebozo aneje. Ikuku na iji wote if we complete this thing now. No he always okuru ya na ebe eme. Onwe watch the picture present of the Finland this with all these useless Alamajiri boys, because I call them Alamajiri boys. If you had to disappoint that the answer of that president of Finland in the picture, which is their body movement, and that picture shows everything. The only thing I woman did that oh no can nature one Nigeria, another can believe in one Nigeria. I'm very sorry. The people should come back. I don't like when although about to be able before on Afra, on name it is no make sure that the information reaching about to be end. Because now this a build doing a name or while the end, which happen. You couldn't answer the magic.
Yeah, yes. Pastor Vam, I don't know, should we take any call or we can end it because if you
want to take calls, maybe if you call, but I cannot take call from my end, except if anybody wants to call from my old number. They can call from Adadi Orama's end.
No.
Okay, fine. Then you can pick the call while we draw the broadcast to a close. So I don't want this to enter 3 hours.
Okay.
So Biafrans, in case any. Okay, pick it, please.
Hello. Good evening, sir.
Good evening.
There.
Yeah,
on up top, ma.
Okay.
Yeah, Ganiru.
Mazi Kukenengo, Pastor Vam Kenengo, Adadi Orama. Because achọrọ m eduke n'ofe ajụjụ biko na kwunu onye m aka n'ihe anyị chọrọ edu n'ikuku soro udo anụnwa ọkwa soro udo onye fight jido maka sit at home werukwa maka sit at home wee bugharịa mbọsị a na mbọsị ụka to on Monday ka ejebe ụka on Monday ọkwa soro udo merie biko zagodo m ọkwa soro udo merie datin na Anambra steeti ọkwa nyanwa
Yes, sir.
Because the when I do hand, Obato Bia Guadai, say I very vigilant now, many propaganda airport or now, yes, although you were for Taketa no, Maka December, 2nd of December. One day, I'm from broadcast email yesterday. One idiot put on an app on the bay on Yapatakonanuno on the 21 or 22.
Yes.
I made the brokers. Oh, wonder how now, Dianum Casarudo Nagana no with security. Oh, you were boosting the bay on Shana. If ya, Sorudo Omaka to call you Bukita no one. Because they want to go to Kwana Sorudo to fight for Sita to Nabo. Oruana Kitano Waka December na then Kitano 2nd December na. Sorudo after Kwana either fight for Sita to for the second time.
And no Ekpa security.
Oh, about the security because I broke in Cow the first time Sorudo fight to go this in fail. Oh, the Webu Adian Bosoka to on Monday, see the work on Monday. Or Metataini now fail. Kita December go now. Or Potapaka did that fight for Sita to move fail go for many years. Oh, check check here.
Oh, yeah,
What Anya can contribute to their one.
Donna. Ikuku now, what you put now?
The thing there is, you see, people need to understand what is going on. Soludo and his co-criminals are under pressure, immense pressure. They are under serious pressure.
I'm picking.
Okay, go ahead.
Hello?
What are they calling Adandembo? I don't know follow corner. But I see them on Nimba, so I tap on Cambodia, so well, Camuana, a fully corner, gonna type away. Up for my mamma, only more appetite.
I want to put off my one, the man appetite.
Okay, can Kelagodi almost cook Kabiama. Then say, look on that anyway. Master Vam.
Agazie.
Nekele Maze Sonny na Poko. Maze for Sonny na Poko na Poko. Mubato by face so we can no get Tamancheta for 1 or 2 things. The cotton she wag yada. But I am telling you, unforgettable now. It's what I did when I was. Emma Begos go Mazia, Ebi, and then Mazis Sonigos keep as well.
I was all Mazis sorry, no, a kukuna.
Huh?
Oh, a kukuna, Biafra Unite.
Okay, yeah. Sorry for because I'm one of them call you out here. What the more she clear for me. On our walk, Biafra Unite now walk honestly. So, Dikoto she call here now. Go and be say, na here okay. Homage, I just over the non deck in the kidnap. Oh man, Nile Kuchaga, Gaba, Yogos renews but than our fozo. And the other issue we are called. Yeah, on the Nile of Ban our Asana Motacos remoto. I'm not almost selling them mad. Monday can apota na ebu, na ebuchapuro ndemmado. Fana potassium over and does not see Alabi. How can I?
One community.
Yes, on down. Yen you are Yokurumaka, Ebana Asuna, now converter. After me are those days. Me only show our Budanio Prime Minister Ekpa Simon Joko. The angel of Okukabiama giving Thomas in Nandekala and Biafra land entirely. But the business changed the narrative of yesterday, those days. On them for that thing. He flashed it. But I will mail like this. Okay, Facebook.
Caller, begin to bring your call to a close. Your calls are not supposed to be more than 1 minute.
I'm not going to make a way nation. One year know that now. Go see the and when Uncle Jam name because I'm on your non issue.
Nah, thank
So,
you. Thank you.
so look up because
Thank you.
So bad.
Honorable Ndimbunande, can you somebody chance to go 1 minute about the last call?
On a line, chere ka onye akwụchazie biko na 1 minute na o nwere onye ọzọ biko 1 minute.
Okay.
Gaa n'ihu 1 minute biko.
Okay. Honorable Ndimbunande.
Ndewo ezi nwanne m.
Ekene m rinne.
Ndewo.
Vam. Honorable, ana m ekene for you. Ikuku nna yana ma hụ n'ebe na ịma ha akpa ndị ịma ha eke ịma ha akpa ndị ike adọrọ gị iji akpa nwanne nwoke asị gị darụ ndewo
okwu na-efie m arụ okuku
ọ na-afịaga ihe nji mara gị ihe na-asị m okwu na-afịaga arụ okwu nwanne ị na-amụ ka esi ekwu ya biko ụmụnne m darụ ụmụchukwu Okobi ọba ana m ekene onye ọbụla biko biko Honorable ndị bụ na ndị egede o nwere okwu ikwuru ebe a ka m chọrọ ịga maka ụmụaka ha kpụpụtara ndị na-achọ ịbịa ndị achọrọ iwetara anyị na Biafra ka ha bịa ndị a na-etinye ya abịa ịgba egbe ị na-emerefe ebere ndị a mpa understand biko ihe m na-agwa gị life and direct ihe a na-agwa unu na-awụ eziokwu ka m na-agwa unu onweghị mix na adịghị ya ọhụrụ Clement these people ụmụazị ya unu fụrụ enwere nna ha enwere nna ha marọ nne na ntị ihe m na-agwa gị ebe nọ ka m ji agwa gị ya ha marọ nne ha marọ nna enwere nna enweghị nna ebe a na-etere na ụmụaka from Senegal ọha ka a na-akpọ anamajiri ihe a na-akpọ ebe ahụ ihe a na-akpọ ebe ụmụta dibe ihe a na-asọsọ ya na-agụ Arabic ihe a na-akparị n'obodo a ị na-eweta aka to 10 years a na-eweta aka 10 years akpọpụ ha ama mfụsị ha ọhụ ndị a pakị na Burkina ị na-anụ maka terrorist Burkina ọha nwa enweghị nne enweghị nna ebe a na-azụ ha na Senegal Mali ebe a na-azụ ha ha kpụrụ ihe na-akpagharị eji ha na-agbakọta to 10 years ịma mfụsị ha ebupụta grup ha juru n'obodo a na-akpagharị gọọmenti na-etere ha a na-enye ha nri mana ịma nnọkọta n'ụbọchị asị gị na enwere terrorist attack na Senegal ọ dịrọ possible ha dị well secured bụ n'ọdụ ụmụaka ka a na-etere n'obodo a ọha ndị a na-ebulata na be anyị ọha ndị a na-ebulata na terrorist contact kpọ Nigeria ha wee na-emefere na and from A to Z none of them onye Senegal onweghị onye Senegal nọ n'ime ha from A to Z ndị Janjaweed Fulani throughout Fulani ihe na-agwụ na life and direct onye Senegal indigen adịrọ involved ndị anyị na-aya ayịyọ Fulani throughout and a na-ebute ha n'obodo a steji ụmụazị from ịna-afụ ha dịcha ụmụ kịrịkịrịkịrị 2 3 years 5 years nwaanyị adịghị involved among them
ngwa kọla biko gaa n'iru 1 minute use 1 minute Chukwu gọzie gị biko be audible 1 minute.
Yeah, okay. So kenekwa Van na ndị ara mma. Biko ihe mụ chọrọ ịgbakwunyelu unu na okwu abụ just two things. Number one bụ ihe gbasara Governor Zuru for Borno State Governor. Ọ dị na nwa unu nke bụ eziokwu ihe a niile ma Zuru gworo na ala ụlọ ihe niile a the same plan. When go since money na Fulani na when gain Fulani official Fulani government, but I condemn Hindi and even one day, even ordinary masses. This thing is general agenda. So side in Kawaga. Another side of Basara Surudo. I'm not talking Biafra Defense Sorudo election next, I think, this year, I think in November or something like that, I think, or next year for second tenor. So, here I want to follow the men now go where deceive Janjaweed, the Ganwiki, equal by that seat, second tenor. So, really more that end, that is the reason. Which I call high floor on a shop. Here I go where make a the Flaniana. Ka ha nwee ike ka ha ghara iri gị election ya kwue ka ọ chịa second tenor any other thing. So thank you very much. Yeah, comes to come.
Thank you. Thank you, Mazi. God bless you. All right. Pastor Vam, the Honorable Minister, please, let's use 1 minute to give our closing remarks so that we can shut down before it gets to 3 hours.
Exactly. Thank you, Ikuku. Thank you, Adenawa Wachineke. Thank you, Honorable Dembo Nandegede. Thank you, fellow Biafrans and lovers of freedom. Tonight, you can see how proactive and how effective we are. As long as Biafra is concerned and our freedom is concerned, there is nothing that will hold us back. Haven't you seen how deliverable, how we deliver, or how, positive and result-oriented we are? We were still live on this program talking about Burna Boy and what he did to Speed Darlington. While we were yet on it, passing our message across, the results came out. The result so if there's anybody still doubting whether this is real or whether it is happening, some of you are the people that will, like that sons of the prophets that was doubting Elijah and told him that even if the windows were open in heaven, it will never happen. The man of God looked at him and told him, with your eyes you will see it, but you will never experience it. Because by this time tomorrow, a bag of rice, a leg of cow, and this and that will be sold for 1 shekel, for 1 ejema. By this time, after the declaration of Biafra, you will see the kingdom of heaven manifesting upon this earth. And we, as the messengers, will be here to begin to call Biafrans together for the celebration and to the celebration party for Biafra. Because we are putting a lot in this, both our resources, our time, our heart, our faith, everything. And many lives have gone for this purpose. I am telling you, nothing will stop the manifestation of the sons of God, which is Biafra. We're not wasting our time. We know what we're doing. The results you are seeing now are just preamble. You are going to see the real thing, the real democracy, the real, sustainable democracy. Biafra will make it happen. And we, as forerunners and ambassadors of these things, will make sure none of you will be left behind. Airborne, I remain Vam Vam Vam.
Airborne. Take it from there.
Wow, umundibu. Gene. In fact, I'm going to name more biangole. Ye nenye mo biangole that na ande kunkome oma ozo. Ndị nzama na-egbuchasị onwe fa. Na-achọrọ agba nnekọ ka ha binyite mụ ha na-ebinyite mụ ha na-ada. Ha na-ebinye ma ha were ịda ada. Debe anyị sị na pastọ nọ emenwu nke a. Ahụ na pastọ ha ya emenwe ha bịa kwuo. Aka dị ekpuchi ọnwa ebe okwu m na-eje. And Ifechukwu dere odegie. Ọbata obi egwala ndị ụchụ sa onye ọ na-abịa ka ejikọta aka ya ọnụ move forward. And aka nwere ndị ka na-agba nnekọ ka ha ka believe na one thing na believe ha chiama. Wee na-agụ na ụmụ ndị Igbo na-asị okwu m were wụrụ gịnị. Ndị be anyị sị na ife dị na mmiri na-eji ugogbe enyi ihe. Ọbata obi approve go ihe niile oyi approve. Iji wee gosi ụlọ that na abịa for good. Iji wee gosi ụlọ ya bịa na ificha ụlọ anya mmiri. Iji wee gosi ụlọ that na after ya nwa onweghị onye ọzọ and which is the truth. I miss this target. Ọbata obi no more. Agwana m ọnụ gwakwa ya na-ekwu ya kịta. Enu na agbala m akaebe ana na agbala m akaebe. If we miss this target nke a Chineke nyere anyị wee kpọpụtara anyị ọbata obi onye njirimara nne na nna ya nọ na Biafra land ya je kpọrọ ụmụnne m onye ọ na-abịa na ka anyị bịa together with one mind and love. Ọgụ anyị nwe ya nụrụ ya onwe anyị. Israel nụrụ nke ha. Ọzọ anyị nwe ndị ya ha nụrụ. anyị anọrọ karịa ha nwa sef na ọnwụ na enwe ike igwe onwe anyị eziokwu ọdụ anyị bịa fụ na ya ebidogo gwa onwe anyị eziokwu so ana m ekene unu wee were ụzọ were a wee na-agwa unu sị na unu echezekwara London o by 10 o'clock Biafran time mba by 10 o'clock to 5 o'clock I owe you loan identity card Biafran self-referendum Biafran coin kekwa Biafran vote anything ọ na-agbagwoju ga na ndị ukolo mmụọ ya nọ life and direct onwe question ị chọrọ iji ukolo mmụọ ọnọdụ ide jụọ ya ọ naghị esheke wee na-agbakọ na after Saturday another big one na-abịa ukolo mmụọ na-abịa n'otu nnọkọ ezinụlọ ndị Igbo niile na-ejike aka chiwe ya ugoda ide onye ọ na make sure na ọ batara n'ọnwụ na ijire bịa wee sọpọtụ ada ndị mbụ na ndị egere bịa sọpọtụ ọbata obi na ụmụ ka ị na-enye bịa wee sọpọtụ onye nwere onwe njem nwere onwe na ọsọkwa anya ahụ sọkwa $1 otu anyị eje mma ọ na-eje mma hens na nke squeeze nwụrụ ihe eji wee sọpọtụ bịa mee ihe afụ ka obi gị ya adịda ide mgbe ọnwụ na itiri ego na njem nwere onwe a infat onye adịka nwere ibu ara ibupụrụ onwe gị na-arụ try godi one day ọnwụ na idoneti be na njem nwere onwe a try ya donate ọwụgodo eje ọ $1 ka ị donetiri ihe afụ onye adịka iwu onye amụ nwere ọfụ try ya anya ụnụ ya akọtakwala m so ana m ekene unu niile na-ekene ikuku na-ekene vam nna m otekwere n'ọma na gị so ụmụnne m ana m ekene unu na-asị unu Chineke gọziele m unu ogologo ndụ n'ala isi ike ife nna ya n'isi unu iji awere ndewo na ụmụ ndị gboo
ndewo honorable ndị mbụ na ndị egede ndewo honorable vam ndewo Biafrans and of course lovers of freedom wherever you have joined us from. We say thank you so much for your contribution. We say thank you for being here to listen and of course help to push the gospel of redemption to the wider audience. We thank God for everything. We thank God for Mazinam Dekano. We thank God for our Prime Minister, His Excellency Simon Ekpa Njoko. And of course, we thank God for every cabinet member of the Biafra Republic government in exile. We thank God for the protection of our men, the Biafra Defense Forces, and for the victory that He always gives to us whenever the enemies, the Janjaweed terrorist army, come to destroy the lives and properties of the people of Biafra. We glorify the name of God. Thank you all. My comrades have spoken and they have said it all. If you know that you haven't supported this very movement, especially financially, then I don't know what you are waiting for. And I don't know the story or history that you are going to tell your next generation. It is very, very important that you know that we are fighting for survival. This fight is a fight for survival. We are no longer receiving calls. We are on the ending part of the program. This is a battle of survival. We are fighting against extermination of the Biafran people. We are fighting to live. Therefore, anybody who thinks that the zoo is better than a free Biafra nation, then go to Borno State and live with them. Go to Benue State and live with them. Go to Zamfara State, go to Kebbi, go to Sokoto, go to Katsina, go to Gombe, go to Niger State,
Yes.
go to Jigawa, go to these places, go to some part of western region of the zoo and live with them for only but 1 month. Then come back and tell us what you saw.
Yes.
Every Biafran must come together to support the Prime Minister and his team for the restoration of Biafra and for peace, the everlasting peace in the land of Biafra. The time is now. You don't have to be told what to do. We don't have to continue to convince you. If anybody has not seen the handwriting on the wall since 2021 till today, then forget it. You are not living. You are not living. If you haven't seen or know who is fighting for your freedom for the past 3 to 4 years now, then forget it. Nobody can help you. You don't have to be convinced anymore, because I believe that every Biafran that has interest in freedom must have been convinced by now. I don't want to talk too much. Thank you all as you support this very much.